You know, when you think of Warren Buffett, you probably picture this stock market wizard, right? A genius who just has a knack for picking winning companies. But what if I told you that's really only half the story? What if the real secret to Berkshire Hathaway's mind-blowing success isn't just about the stocks he picks, but about building this powerful, hidden engine that most people completely miss? Okay, let's really get into this.
I mean, Buffett himself basically admitted it way back in 1995. In a booming market, pretty much anyone can look like a genius. It's easy to make money when everything is going up. It's a fantastic line, but it also opens up a really important question.
Exactly. How does Berkshire Hathaway manage to consistently crush it year after year, even when the market's flat or choppy? Where does it get the power to keep chugging along when other ships are just dead in the water? That's the real mystery we're going to solve today.
And here's our first big clue. The source of all this power isn't found on Wall Street. Nope, it's in a much less glamorous industry: insurance. To really get Berkshire, you first have to understand why Buffett is so utterly obsessed with what seems like a pretty boring business.
This secret has a name, and it is the absolute cornerstone of the entire Berkshire Hathaway empire. It's called float. And trust me, once you wrap your head around this concept, you'll see the pure genius behind the whole operation.
So what on earth is float? Well, in Buffett's own words, it's money we hold but don't own. Just think about it for a second. You pay your car insurance premium today, right? But you might not actually file a claim for months, maybe even years, if ever. In all that time, the insurance company gets to hold onto your money. Now, multiply that by millions of customers, and that giant pool of cash, that's the float. And the process itself is just beautifully simple. Step 1, an insurer collects premiums from millions of people. Step 2, it takes that massive pile of money, the float, and invests it for its own benefit. And then step 3, only way down the line when claims eventually come in, does it have to pay out. That middle step, investing the float, that is where all the magic happens.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more investing content, tap that like button and make sure you subscribe to the channel.
But here's where Buffett takes this whole thing to another level. For him, float isn't just some free money to invest. No. With the right discipline, it can actually be better than free. It's like someone is paying you to take out a loan. It's wild. Let's just compare this for a second. If a normal company wants to invest in something, it has to go to a bank, borrow money, and pay interest. That's a cost. It's always positive. But with insurance float, you're basically getting an interest-free loan from all your customers. And here's the kicker. If you're really good at the insurance part of the business, that cost can actually become negative. So how is that even possible?
The answer has a name: underwriting profit. See, if an insurance company is really disciplined and only insures good risks, the money it collects in premiums will be more than enough to cover all the claims and its own operating costs. That extra profit it makes just from doing the business of insurance, well, that's called an underwriting profit.
And right here, we see the result in black and white. This is data from Buffett's 1995 letter. Now look, early on, the float actually had a cost. But then, check out 1993 and 1995. Berkshire made an underwriting profit. This meant their cost of funds was less than zero. They were literally getting paid to hold and invest billions of dollars of other people's money. This right here is the aha moment.
And Buffett says it himself. This isn't some tiny accounting trick. He says it's a fundamental advantage that has supercharged Berkshire's returns for decades. It's the absolute core of the whole strategy. So the question is, how do you actually do this? How do you put it into practice?
Well, let's look at the perfect case study, because this isn't just theory. Buffett has run this play again and again, and nowhere is it clearer than with his very first business love, the auto insurer GEICO.
His investment in GEICO wasn't some flash in the pan. We're talking about a relationship that spanned nearly half a century. It just goes to show his incredible patience and his uncanny ability to spot a truly exceptional business that could just churn out that low-cost float decade after decade.
I mean, this timeline is just incredible. He discovers the company as a student in 1951 and puts more than half of his net worth on it. Then, when it almost fails in the 70s because of bad management, he doesn't run away, he doubles down. And finally, by 1995, he just buys the whole thing, making it a cornerstone of Berkshire and instantly doubling his access to that precious, precious float.
So what was so special about GEICO?
Buffett called it an unbreachable moat. By selling directly to customers and cutting out the agents, GEICO had a massive cost advantage. This meant they could offer lower prices, which attracted better drivers, which led to fewer claims, and, you guessed it, that all-important underwriting profit year after year. That moat created the perfect float machine.
So when you put all these pieces together, the float, the underwriting discipline, these brilliant businesses like GEICO, you finally see the full picture. You see this incredible self-reinforcing system that Buffett built from the ground up.
You can think of it like a simple two-part machine. The insurance operations, GEICO, National Indemnity, General Re, they're the engine. They're just constantly generating more and more low-cost fuel, which is the float. Then, Buffett and his team act as the steering wheel, skillfully taking that fuel and allocating it into other wonderful businesses and stocks, which in turn makes the whole company even stronger and the engine even bigger. It's a beautiful loop.
And just look at the power of that engine. Between 1967 and 1995, the amount of float Berkshire had to play with grew at an incredible 20.7% per year. Compounded, that is just an astonishing rate of growth for your primary source of investment capital.
So what this all comes down to is that the true genius of Warren Buffett isn't just about what he buys. It's that he first built the machine, the permanent, low-cost, ever-growing engine that gives him the capital to buy anything he wants. The insurance business is the foundation that everything else is built on.
And this really changes how you look at the business world, doesn't it? The next time you see a company, maybe one in a seemingly boring industry, don't just dismiss it. Look a little closer. Ask yourself, what's its hidden engine? What other unique structural advantages are out there, quietly powering the world's greatest companies, just waiting to be discovered?